Hey, I'm Sean, and if you want to learn a super sexy dish that may be way easier than you think it is, stick around, we got leg of lamb. Okay, so leg of lamb, I think, is a real crowd pleaser, and it's something a lot of people don't expect you to be able to know how to make, but it's super easy. Take a look at what we got here. I've got the leg of lamb that's been deboned. So there's a bone in there, and the butcher went ahead and cut that out for us, and it's got the fat on the outside of the meat. I've got these strings here because what we're gonna do is stuff this leg of lamb with all these ingredients you see here, tie it up, cinch it up, and put it on this little bed over here. I don't have a roasting rack. I want one, maybe for my birthday, it's coming up. But these are fingerling potatoes, onions, carrots, some garlic in there that'll perfume, and all those juices will render down onto those potatoes, onions, and carrots. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna stuff this thing. I'm gonna put some spinach on the inside, layer that. I've already cooked a little mushroom and kind of sweated them off so they don't make the inside of this thing all watery, and drained them as well. And some butter, olive oil, salt, and pepper. We've got feta cheese over here. It's a goat cheese that's crumbled. And then when I wrap it all up, oh, don't forget the sun-dried tomatoes, salt and pepper, olive oil, of course. When I wrap it all up, I'm gonna cut a couple of slits in the outside of this thing and stuff some garlic and rosemary in there. So that's our starting place. Let me show you what we do with this leg of lamb. So look down here if you would, Shaylin. And it's not an even cut once you lay it out. So, you know, you could cook some areas faster than others. So what you want to do is try to just kind of even that out. So every inch or so in this thicker part of the meat, I want to make about a 1/2 inch incision. And what that's going to do is going to allow, first of all, seasoning to get down in there, but it's also going to help me get these areas cooked at the same amount of time as this. It won't be perfect, but it will be better than it would be if I left this big old meatball on the end to cook by itself without rolling it out a little bit. Okay, so what we'll do first is I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil in here. Can't go wrong with some olive oil. Also, it's gonna help our salt and pepper stick where it needs to. I got coarse kosher salt that I'll put on the inside of that. It's a lot of meat, so it looks like I'm salting it a lot, but you know, I think it's gonna bring out the good flavor in this lamb meat. I'll tell you that of all the meats, and I love steak, and I love chicken, but I think that lamb meat is one of my favorite meats of all time. And we'll get some pepper in there. Some people say it's gamey, but maybe I've just had it cooked properly. I don't know. I hear people say that, but maybe I just, I love the gamey taste. I don't know, but I think it's delicious. Okay, we got our salt and our pepper. Okay, so I'm gonna lay a layer of these spinach leaves out on the inside, and some of this will spill out. We don't wanna make it a big fat burrito, but we do wanna have some good flavor on the inside of this thing when you cut into it. And this spinach, as you know, will wilt down quite a bit anyway. Some spinach in there. And I had never had a sun-dried tomato until I went with my wife to Carrabba's. And they have that, what's the name of that dish, Shaylin? It's a chicken, and it's got these sun-dried tomatoes on it. They're delicious, right?
Yes, and it's killing me that I don't remember the name of it.
It's the only thing I've ever gotten at Carrabba's, just because the first time I went there, I had it.
The chicken brine.
Chicken brine.
Delish.
Maybe we'll make that sometime soon,
Yeah.
too. So here's some sun-dried tomatoes that are in some olive oil. And I don't know if you like some, but I love them. Just this little tangy texture or taste that it has to it, and the bite that it has to it, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll have to do some chicken brine sometime soon. So there's that.
You do goat cheese with that too, right?
Yeah, goat cheese, mushrooms. Maybe I cooked a little bit too many mushrooms, but you never know. They just kind of downsize as you cook them. So look at that though. Isn't that looking good?
Beautiful.
colorful. Okay, so now we got some goat cheese to go in there. I don't want to stick my grimy hands in there. I love goat cheese too. So that's on the chicken brine too,
Yeah,
isn't
it
it?
is.
So sun-dried tomatoes, and maybe that's what I was thinking of when I thought of doing this recipe, was that chicken brine.
Might be some mushrooms too.
Yeah, and some lemon butter. We could have done that in this.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're talking all about Carrabba's.
Different dish.
We like food around here, so all kinds. Now, what I'm gonna do, for your sake, I'm gonna roll this up. I think I'm gonna do that on time lapse so that you don't have to sit here and watch me try to maneuver this thing for the next few minutes. Okay, so that was fun, and I'm exhausted from the fast work. But I don't know if you saw what I did there at the end. I saw that I had a big opening over here, so I just stuck a fingering potato in there. I just want to hold that stuff in there, so hopefully that will hold in this next process of what I'm going to do is put a little olive oil on the outside of this lamb. And I'm getting hungry. I don't know about you, babe. Mm-hmm. And a little more salt and pepper on the outside. Coat that pretty good. Salt, kosher salt. That's where the flavor comes from. Pepper. There we go. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my paring knife and we're gonna stab this little lamb, sorry. Sounds horrible. But I wanna cut a good little cut in there, maybe wriggle it around a little bit in a couple of places. And then that is gonna be something delicious. Now, my wife and I love garlic. To us, you can't really you can't put too much garlic in there sometimes. But I haven't put any on the inside for those people that are coming over for Thanksgiving that don't like too much garlic. I've got just little treasures of garlic coming with a little sprig of rosemary that I think is going to be kind of cool. Don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
You see all this? Mm-hmm. Okay, hopefully that's big enough. And I've got rosemary and garlic here. I may have to make some bigger holes. I don't know. There we go. That'll work.
I hope I get that one right there. Eat the whole thing in one bite.
Smashed a little bit. Get that in there. And hopefully, after doing this, I can fit the rosemary in there. If not, I'll just put it under the string and it'll still get that flavor and aroma in the air. And I may just do that. Well, what do you think? There's some good garlic.
Stick it in.
Rosemary.
You can do it.
Rosemary.
It looks cool anyway.
Now, if it doesn't burn down like a Christmas tree. Let's stick it under some places. Just get some aroma. Make the strings a little tighter. It's not that hard stringing up the lamb. It seems like it's going to be something, really complicated, but all you got to do is know how to tie a simple knot. And then I'm going to take this, put this on this little, there goes my potato. Put this on this little roasting pan of vegetables, and that's going to drip down in there. And so what we're going to do, I've got my oven set at 425 right now, and so that'll go at 425 for the next half hour. After 30 minutes, I'm going to take it down to 325, and 15 minutes after that, I'm going to put chicken stock.
Yep. A
little bit of chicken stock at the bottom. And then about 15 minutes later, it could be close. So the temperature you want it to be at is 145 ultimately. But I'm gonna put a thermometer in here, and once it gets to 140, I'll probably pull it, because at that point, it will still, the temperature of the meat will still go up about 5 degrees. So we'll be back and see how it tastes. Okay, so we're here. It is Thanksgiving. People are showing up. There's people behind the camera, people in front of the camera, people on the stairs wanting some lamb. If you get here early, you get an early taste and the end of the Robinson video. So I'm here with my oldest, Taylor, and his wife, Amanda.
Hi.
And they get to try just a little taste of lamb, and I hope they like it. So taste away and see what you think.
Okay.
Honestly,
Come on now.
That's really good.
What are you picking up there?
Lamb. It tastes a lot like lamb.
See? See?
Yep.
He knows what he's talking about.
look how beautiful
Little
that
rosemary
is.
in there.
Oh my goodness.
Some of these fingerling potatoes are cooked just right. A little purple in there.
Yeah, that's
so,
really good.
anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure and subscribe below, and y'all have a happy Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's or whatever party you're having.